You are watching Mr. Rob Virtual Classroom.
Hi, Ernie.
Hi.
Hey.
What?
Do you want something?
Sure.
I have something for you.
What?
How would you like to have an orange?
Great.
Oh, wonderful. Here, have an orange. Oh, that trick never gets old. We're still doing magic around here. Welcome to Mr. Rob's Virtual Classroom. We made it all the way to day 53, and today is May 29th, the year 2020. That's 5/29/20. It's Friday. We made it, folks. It's Casual Friday. We're on the edge of a weekend, and boy, do we ever need a weekend more than right now. Oof, my goodness, what a week. I'm really happy to have you guys here. We're going to talk about team content, but first I wanted to show you something. I don't know if you all get the mail, but the district sends out an update, and look who's on the front cover. Is that Ernie? Is that Mr. Rob? Is that our virtual classroom? Yeah. Well, that's kind of fun. I thank the district for, this was actually part of an interview I did. It was probably about 8 different teachers, and we did about 50 minutes of interviews about virtual learning and how that's been. So I got to represent our early childhood program. So that was really fun. I wasn't quoted at all, but at least our picture made it. That was pretty cool. So I thank Jolene at the school district for making that happen. She did a lot of hard work on that. I think we better get to it. Do you think we should get to it? I think so too. It's now time for...
Gong, Dad.
No. Well, first off, we have 5 more days. 5 more days of school. Oh, 5 more days of school. Hi-ho, the dairy-o. There's 5 more days of school. We had 3 loyal, helpful friends send in wonderful artifacts of team content. Adam, he did an M list. He was searching for all the M's at the cabin. And one of the most tasty and amazing M's he found were morel mushrooms. They hunted for some wonderful mushrooms. I trust that they're safe mushrooms and they know what they're doing with those. So mushroom hunting is something that you have to be very well trained for. But if you're trained and you have good awareness, good education, it can be a very delicious hobby. So enjoy those mushrooms, Adam. I'm glad you tasted them, enjoyed them. Sienna had 2 artifacts of learning. She too created an M list. Guess what made the M list, guys? I'll give you a hint. It starts with M.
Mom.
Medallion. Medallion made the list.
You mean Dalian?
I mean Dalian. And Massachusetts made the list too. I like that. I'm from Massachusetts. Okay. She also started off, can you back up a little so they could see this next part? They also started off doing a bee habitat, creating a bee box, but it quickly turned into another bird box. So it's a bee bird box. Great job, Sienna.
Maybe you need to give it to Ayan for the birds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he has his hanging on his deck. I know that for sure. And speaking of Ayan, he sent in 4 artifacts of learning. Somewhere really close to his porch, there's a mama bird who's building a nest. So they've been having great fun watching that bird get ready for babies. That'll be a real treat to observe.
Spring babies.
He also, I actually challenged Ayanj last week because he's been doing some digital art on the computer, and he created a digital traffic light. You know, Ianch is into traffic lights these days, so he's representing them in his art. He's creating them out of objects. He's making them out of dough. You're doing a great job on your studies, Ianch. He, of course, created a list of M things, and I think in his word journal, he's up to like, I think it's 361 words he's learned during digital learning. That's just fascinating. That's amazing to me. And he created butter gifts, which was very interesting. He wrapped up boxes of butter. I'm curious about that. That's very interesting. They were very well wrapped, so very nice, Ianch. I want everybody to know, Medallion
You mean
Monday.
Dalian?
Medallion Monday is coming. Medallion Monday is coming. So get ready. Turn in all your team content by 4 p.m. this Sunday. It's going to be a lot of work updating the final super team board. We're going to have the final super team board on Monday. So if you get to me by 4 o'clock, it gives me a good edge. I don't want to have to do this late into the night, okay? Help Mr. Rob out, okay? Help me, help you. Sound good? Yeah, that sounds great, Mr. Rob.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
That was weird.
It must have been my secret elf.
Okay. And here we go. Drum roll, please. The final daily 3. This is your last daily 3, guys. And now this may be a little bit, well, it doesn't have to be sad. It can be happy. And it might be overwhelming because we're going to look at some numbers here, okay? But I don't want to overwhelm you. This daily 3 is supposed to last you a long, long, long time.
Long.
25 boats. These are ideas for boat building. I saw how into it you guys were when we had the natural boat building with the leaves. And so I decided to look for another boat activity. I found a site that has 25 different boat projects. So many good ideas for building boats with found materials. A family regatta is right around the corner. Does anybody know what regatta means?
No?
It's kind of like a boat race. It's a boat day together. When boats get together, they don't have to race, they can just be together. What are you doing?
Nothing?
Put the peel down. Okay, next one. 31 games. Classic games every child should learn and have fun with. Select a handful of your family favorites and make a spinner if it's hard to choose what game to play next. Okay, so these are 31, I almost said 25, so 31 different games. Great family games. Some are just games for 1 or 2 people. Some are games for a whole bunch of people. So many of the games are fine for social distancing. Some we're going to have to wait till the rules loosen up a little bit. And finally, this one I'm very excited about. Oh, Ernie, your camera's tilting. This one I'm really excited about. It's called 55 Backyard Play Ideas. It's going to be a summer. So you might need every one of them. 55. So we got 25, 31, 55. These are a lot of ideas, guys. And next week, we will have even more ideas, okay? I'll announce that in just 1 minute.
That's a lot.
Do we get this? I don't want to forget things. It's hard to remember everything. There's so many boards. That's like my boss, Kathy, said when I was doing a presentation on the virtual classroom. She says, boy, that's a lot of boards. Yeah, it is. Now, resource of the day is very special. One of my colleagues, Miss Laura Jade, from over at Meadowbrook, from the Kaleidoscope program, has compiled a really wonderful Google Doc. And I believe we can all add to it. It's called Talking to Kids About Race. And with the very turbulent times we've been having, in our community. This is a very, very important resource. And it really comes from the starting angle that we don't always know how to talk about this very important subject with children. We don't always have a place to start talking. And so the artifacts, the resources Miss Laura has gathered is a great launching pad for that important, vital discussion. And, you know, I read a book earlier this week called Whoever You Are by Mem Fox. I think you remember that. You kids remember that? And one thing that really stands out in that book for me is that we are all different. And we are all the same. And we have to celebrate both of those truths. We have to celebrate how we're different from each other, and we have to celebrate all our similarities. And I'm going to tell you something, we're more alike than different. All of us.
Because our hearts are the same, our brains are the same, everything.
Yep.
But some
That's
stuff
so
are
well
different.
said, Ernie. You remember the book real well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to breathe, guys. It's time to take a lot of long, deep breaths. And start embracing our humanity, embracing what we see in each other, of our similarities. And we need to learn how to celebrate our differences too and work with each other. So please use that resource of the day, and please don't be afraid to talk to kids about accessing this important idea. And I think that's all I'm going to say about that right now. I do have a few announcements. Our superintendent I forwarded a letter that Kathy forwarded to me from the superintendent of schools, Dr. Mary Perry Reed, and she has a lot of ideas about how the school is supporting our families through these times. So it's very important. Please read it and go through it. If you have questions, it's always important to ask her. She's a very accessible person, and she wants everyone in our district to know and feel loved. They want to make sure you feel loved, you feel supported, and you feel like Hopkins is working toward progressive change in so many ways that needs to happen. So please read that. Number 2, Sunday will be our final virtual classroom newsletter, and I'm going to share with you some details about our final week. We have a really fun final week planned. It's not going to be team content based. We have some other ideas. So after Medallion Monday, no need to send me your team content unless you want to. You can still do that if you want to. But we'll give you details about the week, including details about our Harley Parade, which is happening on Wednesday from 10:30 to 11:30. We hope to see all families, especially the families we haven't seen in a while. We'd love to see everybody. I'd love to have a reunion. And Ernie and I are going to present on some different things next week. We're going to kind of do a more in focus style at the virtual classroom, and we're going to be doing one on kindergarten preparedness and readiness. And I'm done. I created 15 things I hope you get to do this summer. So I hope you'll enjoy all of that. Our virtual playtime, this is very important. We're going to have our last virtual playtime, not Wednesday, because of the Harley Parade. That's just too much going on for Wednesday. So our last virtual play date is on Thursday from 3 to 4. And that's the theme, gratitude. Come ready for some virtual high fives. Come ready for some virtual hugs. We're going to thank each other. We're going to share some time with each other one last time. So looking forward to that. In these last moments of today's virtual classroom, I will be reading one of my deep, deep, deep favorites, Knots on a Counting Rope. You have to enjoy that. And we're going to have our song of the day, Higher and Higher, sung by the Vienna Virtual Choir, another song that lifts me up when I'm feeling a little down. So, that's it for a week of virtual classroom. One more week to go. Ernie, do you have something to say?
Bye, kids.
All right. Can I say bye-bye too?
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Orange P.O. says
What's our
bye-bye
time?
too.